If we could all go back in time, we would all be buying Bitcoin at $10,000, okay? But if you never had the chance to take the leap of faith to invest in Bitcoin or any crypto at all in the past few years, I'm going to show you exactly how I'd approach crypto investing in 2025 if I were starting today from zero as a complete beginner. Whenever people talk about crypto, there's always like two extreme sides. It's like Bitcoin to the moon or crypto. Crypto is a scam and it's worth nothing. So I'm going to address all of these things today and give you my honest opinion on where crypto stands right now and also how to protect yourself as a beginner if you are looking to get into crypto. By the end of this video, you're going to understand blockchain basics, how to safely buy your first crypto with a live walkthrough and demonstration featuring Coinbase. So let's start with blockchain 101. I think that if you want to feel secure about your decision to invest in cryptocurrency, then it's a good idea to kind of have an understanding of what blockchain technology actually is and how it works, because it's your understanding of that that's going to make you feel like you're making the right decision. So if you think of blockchain like a digital ledger, it's basically a record book. But instead of one bank keeping all of the records, there are thousands of computers all around the world that keep identical copies. So let's say that I were to transfer you $100 of cash. In the Bitcoin world, we call this fiat currency. So I would send you $100 through something like a bank transfer or an ACH or a wire traditionally. And what happens when I make that transaction is that both my bank and your bank would update their ledger or their internal records saying that I have $100 less and you have $100 more. And both you and I would trust that both of our banks are keeping accurate records that this transaction of me sending you $100 occurred at the time and the amount that we said that it happened at. On the other side, let's say that I were to send you Bitcoin. Okay. Now Bitcoin, these transactions, they don't happen through banks. They happen on the blockchain. So if I were to send you Bitcoin worth $100, there is no bank that is updating the transactions. But what happens is that there are thousands of computers all around the world. We call these computers nodes, and they basically all update their ledgers simultaneously. Once more than 51% of all of these computers around the world agree on a new transaction, and that's what we call consensus in the blockchain world, that block that contains the transaction of me sending you $100 is now added to the blockchain. Now, how do we know that transactions that actually happen on the blockchain are not fake? It's because of this fundamental concept behind blockchain technology called cryptography. Cryptography is just a fancy word for protecting information. It's kind of like a digital signature that can't be forged. So Bitcoin, the reason why everyone knows what Bitcoin is because it was the first cryptocurrency and also the most popular cryptocurrency. They launched in 2009. And Bitcoin is designed to be scarce. There's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be mined and will ever exist. And about 19.5 million have already been mined today as of right now. Now you might be wondering to yourself, well, that doesn't leave that much room available for the rest of these coins to be mined, right? Like 21 minus 19.5. But the last Bitcoin actually won't be mined until the year 2140. So the current state of Bitcoin in 2025 is that it is becoming increasingly more institutional. It's not as volatile as it used to be. It's still considered high risk, high return. It's still more volatile than buying stocks or buying real estate or investing in the S&P 500. But 30-day volatility for Bitcoin has been in the 30 to 45% range in the past 2 years, compared to the 2017 bull run where it was 130 to 140%. El Salvador is one of the first countries in the world to have made Bitcoin legal tender. So the volatility is still there, but you can see that it is starting to mature. On the other hand, we have Ethereum. So Ethereum is a little different than Bitcoin because of the technology behind. So with Bitcoin, we talked about blockchain technology. Ethereum is like a digital computer that anyone can use, and they enable something called smart contracts. Smart contracts are basically programs that automatically execute when conditions are met. So Bitcoin's like digital money, and Ethereum is like digital money plus this platform for building financial applications. And so a lot of the innovation in crypto actually happens on Ethereum, right? Decentralized finance like NFTs and other applications, they all run on Ethereum's networks. Ethereum also recently upgraded to Ethereum 2.0, which made it more energy efficient and faster than it used to be. Before we get into buying crypto, I also want to talk about not losing it and always protecting yourself first. Let's say you lost your debit card. You can always go to the bank, give them your ID, and they will issue you a new debit card. But for crypto, it's a little different. If you lose access to the passwords to your accounts, the passwords to your cold storage wallets or your warm storage wallets, if you lose your recovery words, if you send crypto to the wrong address or to the wrong person, there's no institution like a bank that you can walk into. There's no customer service number that you can call and ask. So it is true that crypto can get lost or stolen. But the thing is that usually when these things happen at the consumer level, it's usually because of user error or just not having safeguards to protect yourself. It's not because of the technology itself. The first rule is to only use reputable exchanges to conduct transactions. I personally recommend using Coinbase for this reason. The second is enabling two-factor authentication everywhere where you set up your account. When you do this, it's better to use the Authenticator app on your phone rather than text messages because your phone number can technically be jacked, but the Authenticator app can't. The third rule is that it's better to be conservative and start small when it comes to investing. So you don't need to put all of your life savings into one crypto on one day. Just like with purchasing any investment, if you start with an amount that you can afford to lose completely, that always helps. The fourth rule is keeping crypto in your own wallet and really understanding the difference between crypto that's left on an exchange versus withdrawn into your own wallet. When you buy crypto, it has to be done through an exchange, right? That's why exchanges exist. Kind of like when you purchase stocks, you purchase them through a broker. But the difference is that when you buy a stock, the broker, they will protect your investment or whatever you leave in there, and you don't actually have to withdraw it into a physical device like a ledger. But with crypto, if you want to be safe, I would highly recommend that you actually don't leave your coins with exchanges and you withdraw it into a physical device like this. So with an exchange, it's convenient to keep the coins there. And if you need to liquidate really quickly, you can do that. But on an exchange, you also don't technically control the keys, and it is the highest risk of theft. So the best way to protect yourself is to withdraw into a wallet. And when you withdraw into a wallet, or what we call cold storage, it's kind of like keeping cash in a safe. You control it completely, and you are responsible for security. Rule number 5, be wary of scams. Now, how do we know if something is a crypto scam? Well, let's say that somebody DM'd you and told you about a real estate investment opportunity, and they asked you to send crypto, or they tell you about a crypto investment opportunity, or someone emails you and tells you that you're beautiful or you're handsome and they're falling in love with you and asks you to send them crypto to save them. In any of these instances, I just wouldn't do that, you guys. Joking aside, most people are smart enough not to do these things. Things like buying from unreputable exchanges or buying crypto from websites that look like real exchanges but actually aren't. Never giving anyone your private keys or your passwords. Like, legitimate companies will never ask for these. If somebody or a company gives you the option to pay for a product or service in crypto, it doesn't mean that it's not legit, but one question that you can ask is, do you guys accept any other forms of payment, such as PayPal? And if you don't feel comfortable paying with crypto, then just pay with PayPal. And if they don't accept PayPal, why not? Now, I personally choose Coinbase as an exchange because it's beginner friendly. Coinbase is regulated in Canada. They're a publicly traded company with a good reputation, and they have good security. Coinbase is the world's most trusted exchange, and the fees are also not that high. Now, in the past few years, I know there's been some controversy around exchanges. Coinbase is the only exchange that I would currently recommend to others, and I actually reached out to them to see if they'd be willing to do a partnership with me on this video, and I'm very happy that they said yes to me. So when you go through the account creation process, Coinbase will ask you a series of detailed questions to verify your identity. You will need to upload a photo of your driver's license and your passport, and the purpose of this is just so that Coinbase can validate that you are a real person. And this is pretty standard for any legitimate financial service. Now, once you're verified, this is what the main dashboard looks like when you log into your account. Over in the home setting, you can see basically a general overview that you can personalize, as well as some of the trending coins. This buy sell area is where you are actually going to make transactions, and these buttons here are for sending and receiving crypto in and out of your account to another wallet. Now, in terms of how to actually purchase crypto through Coinbase, Coinbase accepts all major forms of payment, including credit card, debit card. You can also initiate a bank transfer or a wire transfer, which can take a couple of days to clear. They also accept PayPal accounts as well if you want to connect yours to it. Just to go through the platform a little bit more, My Assets is where you would see any of the holdings that you currently have stored on the exchange. In the Explore tab, you'll be able to set your own filters and see some of the most popular and most searched coins today. If you are someone who trades on a regular basis, you might want to consider a monthly subscription service from Coinbase, which is called Coinbase One. It basically offers premium benefits to its members for a monthly fee, and you can waive your trading fees up to a certain limit, as well as get priority customer support and boosted staking rewards. If you are a more advanced trader or you like looking at these stock charts and candlesticks, then feel free to turn on or toggle on the advanced feature. It's not necessary if you're just buying for long-term holding, but they do have that option. Now, in terms of insurance, Coinbase does insure US dollar deposits through FDIC. This means that if you leave up to $250,000 of US dollars on the platform, and that's fiat currency, which like actual cash, not crypto, it is FDIC insured. But any cryptocurrency that you leave on the platform is technically not FDIC insured. So in order to protect yourself to the fullest, I would personally recommend only transferring cash onto the exchange when you need to make a purchase, withdrawing cash from the exchange if you're not going to actively use it for another trade, and withdrawing coins into another wallet such as cold storage or a hot wallet after you make any purchases. FDIC insurance is US only. If you're Canadian, one way to receive protection on your coins is by subscribing to Coinbase One, which is the premium subscription service that I just mentioned earlier. If somebody had gained unauthorized access to your account or made any sort of unauthorized crypto transfer from your Coinbase account, your holdings would still be protected under Coinbase One. Now, making an actual purchase is pretty intuitive. You can toggle back and forth between price and actual coin to determine how much you want to buy. But anytime you do any sort of transaction related to cryptocurrency and it's your first time using a new platform, or it's been a while since you've used a certain platform, I actually recommend doing a test purchase first before making your main purchase. So let's just say you plan to buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, or you plan to send someone $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. I would first do, in either case, a test transaction for $10 just to make sure that everything is okay. Let's just say we're going to do a $10 purchase. All we have to do is press the review order button, and I am going to be charged 99 cents for this order. I'm going to press buy now. And after refreshing the page, it now loads my account with the purchase that I just made. Now, very important to note, as I've made this purchase, the amount of crypto that I currently have is sitting with the exchange. Now, in addition to one-time orders, there also is the option to set auto buy if you want to do recurring purchases and you are following the dollar cost averaging strategy. Now, that is how you buy crypto on an exchange. Next, I'm going to show you how to transfer the coins out of your account onto something like a hardware wallet. This is cold storage. I personally, for myself, prefer to transfer any coins that I purchase off of exchanges onto cold storage. The reason why I like to do this for myself is because this is a physical device that I have control over, and the password is stored on the physical device and it's not linked to the internet. So the reason why they call it cold storage is because it is a physical device that attaches to your computer through a USB cord. That's the only way that you can actually turn on the device and use the device. Now, I have had this for many years now. If I were setting this up for the first time, then I would have to do a couple things, including setting up my PIN, writing down the recovery phase, and also downloading the software onto my computer. But since I've already done that before, I'm just going to get directly into the transferring stage. After you've connected your device to your computer, you will be able to, you do have to install the app, but you'll be able to see it like this. Now, because we are receiving Bitcoin into this wallet and we're transferring it out of Coinbase, we are going to generate a one-time unique address for Coinbase. So all we do is press receive, and we are receiving Bitcoin. Automatically going to generate an address, which you are going to press the copy button and then paste that into Coinbase. Now, inside the Coinbase platform, I'm going to press on these three dots and press the send button. We're going to paste the address that we just picked up. I always like to check that the last couple of digits and the first couple of digits are correct. We're going to select this Bitcoin network. We're going to select what is currently available to press the max button. Now, this is a We're going to press send now. Now on my actual device, it's actually just going to ask me to confirm, which I'm going to approve. Anytime you transfer crypto out of an exchange onto a wallet, it may take a couple minutes to verify. And again, that is just all of the nodes in the network that have to work together to validate and verify that the transaction actually happened. You don't actually have to do anything to accept the transaction. You just have to wait a few minutes and it'll show up on both the Coinbase side as well as the Ledger side as well. If you guys like this video today, hit the thumbs up. And I think you're going to love my other video on investing in dividend ETFs.